What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae across the skywards of the internet, here with another episode of Panthers Pride TV, your one-stop shop for your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And happy Tuesday to all of y'all. Hope y'all are having a great day. Hope everything's going smooth for you. December has officially begun. It is the last month of the year. So you know what that means. Christmas is around the corner. Lights is twinkling. Carols is caroling. The Christmas tree is Christmas treeing. Some of you are still on the naughty list. Some of you are on the nice list, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. That's none of my business. Because at the end of the day, we still got meaningful football to play in December. As well as I'm going to be watching Charlie Brown and all the Home Alones, just the first three. There's 6, but I've only seen up to 4. We're not doing that. And then a bunch of other Christmas specials because, you know, Christmas specials are cool like that. Oh, side note, before we even get into this, if you play Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas and think it is the best Christmas song of all time, no. I'm establishing that now. If y'all don't know that about me, I hate that song. It is the worst rendition of All I Want for Christmas. I can't stand it. It's overplayed. It's bad. It's bad. And I know some people will be like, but it's the most played song in all of Christmas. That does not make it good. You know how much stuff is on the radio nowadays that is just bad but continues to get radio play because people are simpletons? Yeah. I might have hurt some feelings with that one, but I'm sorry, bro. That song is tragic. And I know some of you are going to be like, all right, well, then what's one of my Christmas songs? Honestly, one of my favorite Christmas songs is Merry Christmas, Baby by Otis Redding. That is my heart of heart, one of my favorite Christmas songs, if not my favorite Christmas song to listen to. So, y'all gonna be mad at me for that one? Is that the Temptations version of Silent Night? Actually, the Temptations, Rudolph, then their version of Silent Night. Those are probably my top 3 Christmas songs on my list. And then number 4, Michael Jackson, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's number 4. Number 5, low-key might be DMX's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But number 5 fluctuates. I have to go back and forth with it. But let's go ahead, get into Carolina Panther football because I'm rambling and y'all don't care about that right now. But guys, I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if you've heard, but if you've seen on the Carolina Panthers social media page, and you've been aware, especially on their IG page, apparently NBC reporter Chris Sims had quite a take about the Carolina Panthers before our game on Sunday on his Unbuttoned podcast. And boy, oh boy, did it age like milk. Ooh. Hey, I love moments like this. I love them. I love moments like this. So let's see what Chris had to say, y'all. This is exactly what Chris Sims had to say on the Unbuttoned podcast when he was talking about the preview of our game heading into it. He says, first off, the Rams are clearly the best team in football right now. There's nobody in their class right now and could easily be undefeated for all we know. The Panthers defense and all that zone they run, right? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, McVay and Stafford and company are going to pick that apart. You saw Brock Purdy, what they did. You saw Brock Purdy. What they have, 6 different 10-plus play drives the other night and chewing up the clock? That's a disaster against the Rams. The Rams will pick it apart and make big plays against that. So, yeah, I don't trust the Carolina defense and anything there with that. Again, Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions, and they still moved the ball and controlled the game like it was never in doubt. And Carolina's offense, yeah, I just can't buy into it. If Carolina can't dominate in the run game, you can't trust Bryce Young to carry the load. Bryce Young's done a good job, but he's not a guy here that I in any way look at to be a top-tier quarterback and capable of carrying a team in a shootout if his team is not running the ball well. Or if a team has to way overplay the run and now he has all these favorable matchups. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams here, 31-17.
NANI?
Chris. Now, again, we talked about it, and we all were kind of like, you know what, if we were going to lose one of the two games between the 49ers and the Rams, a lot of us, again, myself included, expected us to lose the Rams. But to say that was blasphemy. Or at least not even blasphemy. To say that in that manner, like we never had a snowball's chance, is chaotic. To say Bryce Young can't carry the load when just 2 weeks ago against the number one pass defense threw for a franchise record 448 yards. Like, that did not just happen 2 weeks ago. Now, if you want to talk about Bryce Young being consistent, yes, I will give you that. But to say he can't do it, there is a difference between consistency and simply cannot. When the man goes out and does it, you can't say he can't do it anymore. You can say he's not consistent, but you can't say he can't do it anymore. And not only that, bro, Bryce Young went and did it this week. 75% completion. I don't care if it was 15 or 20. I don't care if it was 25 or 30. I don't care if it was 15 or 20. I don't care if it was 75 of 100. I don't care if it was flipping. I can't even think right now, bro. I can't even think off the top of my head because I'm just so amped up. The simple fact of the matter, I don't care if it was 30 or 40. That's 75%. That's great. That's the highest completion we've had all season. 206 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's what you want. You want that balance. And Chris Sims went in the postgame talking about it, and he doubled down essentially, basically said, oh, well, yeah, they had a few good plays here and there, but it was really just the mistakes off the Rams. The first takeaway was, he made it seem as though all our takeaways were luck. Like, none of those were earned. The first one, I'll give you, bats off Derek Brown's head, but Nick Scott's in the right place at the right time. All right. Second one, Mike Jackson reads that out perfectly. The fumble by Derek Brown, that's just great pressure. That's not luck. Then, not only that, Carolina goes and has to compete on offense. Because remember, we only scored 10 points total off turnovers. Actually, we only scored 7. It was the pick 6. Because Nick Scott's we didn't go down and score. And obviously Browns was to end the game. So we still had to go out there and put up the other 24 points. And we did that on offense. Offense and special teams. Bryce Young delivered. All 3 touchdowns were passing touchdowns from Bryce Young. And the crazy stat that I thought was wild seeing, one was this. On 3rd and 4th down versus the Rams, a great Rams team, Bryce Young went 8 of 10, 162, 3 TDs, and a 158.3 perfect passer rating. Nani? A 158.3 passer rating. Literally perfect. 8 of 10. 80% completion. 3 touchdowns. 2 of them on 4th down. And the other was on 3rd down. So it's like, bro, what? And I got really mad. And I even commented on it. If y'all want to go, it is on Instagram right now. Go to Sims' IG and find his Unbuttoned podcast and there's a clip, there's a post he put up of his top 4 most impressive wins of the week. I'll tell y'all right now, Carolina was not in there. His top 4 most impressive wins. And I'll read them off to y'all because I thought this was quite blasphemous in my opinion. It was number 4, the Packers over the Lions, the Cowboys over the Chiefs, the Bengals over the Ravens, and then the Bears over the Eagles. So the team that you just said that would get destroyed and essentially had a snowball's chance in hell to compete with the best team in the league, the best team in football right now. They win, and that's not one of the most impressive wins. You ain't even got to put it as the most impressive win. It's not one of the top 4 most impressive wins out there, Chris Sims. And yeah, I added you on IG, bro, because I want you to see me. I hope you see this podcast. Tag Unbuttoned. Tag Day podcast right here. I'm talking directly to you, Chris Sims. What's the issue? Huh? How is that win not impressive in those conditions with that inconsistent of a team, with everything against them going against the number 1 team in the NFL? How is what Carolina did not consistent and not great and not impressive? How is what Carolina did not even one of the top 4 best? Like, bro, you got the Packers and Lions. Like, those aren't 2 great teams. The Cowboys over the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs aren't struggling this year. The Bengals over the Ravens. Okay, I'll give you that one, I guess. And then the Bears and the Eagles, 2 of the top 5 seeds in the NFC right now. A 9-3 Bears beat a 9-3. They were both 8-3. So now the Bears are 9-3 and the Eagles are 8-4. Oh, and let's be real, the Eagles aren't the same Eagles as the last year. So what are we talking about, Chris? What's the consistency? What's the criteria? I'd like to know. I truly would, because that makes no damn sense whatsoever. If you don't want to admit that you were wrong about the Panthers, just say that. Just say you don't like the Panthers. Just say you don't want to give them credit where credit is due. Because guess what? You're not the only person. A lot of people had to eat crow this week. A lot of people had to sit there and be like, dang, this is why you play to win the game. And this is why I'm an optimist. Because, yeah, I know realistically what could happen, the most likely outcome, but I'm still banking on that potential optimistic outcome. And guess what? The optimistic outcome came to fruition. So what are we talking about here, dog? And you want to sit there and say Bryce can't do this, Bryce can't do that. You're not asking him to carry the load. Okay, that's cool. You ain't got to believe in Bryce. I do. And I believe he's making progress and he's making strides. Because if we're looking at his numbers, here's the crazy part. Looking at Bryce's Young numbers right now in year 3. Bryce Young, right now he's at 2,337 yards. All he needs is a basic day tomorrow. He breaks last season's record. And he's only 400 yards away from breaking his rookie season's record. So at the pace that he's going, because he's at 194.8 yards per game, career high. 63.9 completion percentage and increasing, career high. Already has the most passing touchdowns he's ever had in a season at 18, still going, career high. His passer rating, 87.9 right now and still going up, career high. This man is getting better and better and better. And I keep saying it. If you give the boy time, he can grow into what we want. Not everything is going to be an instantaneous success, and Bryce Young is showing that. When Canales is also consistent and Bryce Young is consistent, they are a damn problem. And that's been their issue this year, finding ways to be consistent. Bryce, too. Bryce has not been consistent this year. Canales has not been consistent with the play calling this year. Our run game hasn't been consistent this year. Our receivers haven't been consistent this year. God knows our O-line hasn't been consistent this year, considering we've had 11 different offensive lines, 10 different starting lines in 13 weeks. God knows that. But when this team figures out the consistency aspect, man, oh man, oh man, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. And then not only that, bro, to do all that and that bad of weather with a vet like Matthew Stafford, you got Devontae Adams, you had Puka Nakua's one-handed snag, you had Corum and Williams going off. They score late, and the pressure's on Bryce Young to go down and take the lead back. Come on. But just like anybody else, you want to sit there and be like, oh, well, Bryce Young needs a great running game. Fun fact, y'all. The Rams also rushed for almost the same amount of yards. The Rams rushed for 152 on 21 carries. We rushed for 164. So it ain't like Stafford threw for 400 and he didn't have a rushing attack. Stafford had a running game too. It's almost like every great quarterback needs a good running game in order to set up their passes and make the passes easier. Nani? Holy cow! For everybody who says, oh, Bryce can't win without a running game, it's almost like great quarterbacks need a balanced run game to complement their passing in order to open up the mismatches and the opportunities. Wow. Never thought that could happen, right? That's how I feel sometimes when I hear some of these comments, bro. Like it baffles me. It blows my mind. But you know what? We go keep moving. We go keep moving forward because I can rant about this all day. Next, bro, Adam Thielen was released by the Minnesota Vikings yesterday. Nani? Not gonna lie, didn't see that coming. Kind of shocked me because of what we traded him for. But Adam Thielen was released and says he wants to compete he wants to have a meaningful role on a team that's competing for the playoffs. Obviously, I think he wants to get that ring before he retires, and I don't blame him. I'm sad this is his last season. He's got to go out like this, but I don't blame him. Now, obviously, there's a question in the room that a lot of people have asked, but let's revisit the trade itself and relook at everything that transpired. So, remember, we traded Adam before the start of the season, traded him, and we received a 2026 fifth-round pick and a 2027 fourth-round pick from the Vikings. And the Vikings, they get Adam, a 2026 conditional seventh, and a 2027 fifth. Now, had Adam Thielen been active for fewer than 10 games, they would have got a 2026 conditional sixth round pick. But because he was active for 11 games, it's still a seventh round pick. So, hey, we got by there. And Dan Morgan, shout outs to you, man. Got to give you credit when credit is due because the man got rid of Deontay Johnson, and we saw how that turned out. Got rid of Jonathan Mingo, saw how that turned out. And got rid of Adam Thielen, and we see how that's turned out for Thielen, who only has, I think, 8 catches for 69 yards this year. Not good. But the question that everybody's been posing, I've seen on the internet, is do we bring Adam Thielen back? I've seen a lot of people say, oh, bring him back. I like him better than Leggett. Bring him back, put him there. We'll be a whole lot better. No. Unless he wants to come back for a mentor role, no. I honestly, no. And there's no disrespect to Adam Thielen, but I said at the beginning of the year, I wish we had never let him go. I get why he wanted to go. but I wish we had never let him go just for continuity's sake, for Bryce's sake, in case T-Mac did not work out and he had a number one of sorts that he could trust. But at this moment in time, Bryce has gotten comfortable with the receiving core we have. The receiving core is getting comfortable with each other. T-Mac, bona fide number one. Leggett, coming into his own and is a great blocker on the outside now than what he was at the beginning of the season. Coker, Mr. Clutch when we need him to have some clutch heads. Jimmy Horn, the speedster that I wish we would utilize more downfield, but we still utilize him. Sanders, Mitchell Evans, Tommy Tremble, great in the pass game from the tight end spot. And then not only that, you have Rico and Chuba in the backfield. And then, if we're being truthful, remember, we still have Bryson Tremaine. David Moore is still on the team. Hunter Renfrow is still on the team. And if some injuries happen, God hoping they don't, we got some guys in the cut ready to rock and roll. So, I do not think we need Adam Thielen at this time. If Adam wants to come back, I'm not against him coming back. But if he's coming back thinking we're just going to insert him automatically into the flow of the offense that we got going out, no. These boys, as much as they've been inconsistent, they've built chemistry together over this entire season. These wins and losses, they've been doing them together without you, Adam. So, I'm against you coming back now and potentially ebbing up the flow and messing it up. And it's not saying that you're a bad teammate or anything, but I get what you want. And right now, I don't think Carolina can give that to you. And I wouldn't want Carolina to try and force that for you because it's just going to throw off everything. And then lastly, third thing I do want to discuss, man, is our CB1 is leading the Pro Bowl in voting right now. Yes, sir. You heard it right. Currently, as we speak, at this very moment, Jaycee Horn is number one in Pro Bowl voting for all cornerbacks in the NFL. So he is currently sitting at number one, followed by Nashawn Wright for the Chicago Bears, Jamel Dean for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Derek Stingley Jr. at 4 for the Houston Texans, Kobe Durant at 5 for the Rams, and then I thought this was funny, so I had to include it. Emmanuel Forbes, the same Emmanuel Forbes, who we scored our 2 touchdowns on with Coker and T-Mac. He's sitting at number 6. So I think that's kind of cool. Even though JC's out, hey, the fact that JC is being voted as the top corner right now, I love it. I think his performance versus the Rams really helped his case. And I think a lot of people seeing that on Monday night were like, oh, Jaycee Horn he one of them ones. He really liked that. And, yeah, JC can be like that, man. Been saying it. So, definitely would love to see him go to the Pro Bowl and earn his just dues because he's more than worthy of it. And now, let's go into the Panther freeze frame of the day. And, man, this is probably one of my favorite photos from the game I saw. And it is this sign of a Panthers eating the Rams logo. Shout out. Hey, give him a Zoidberg for that. 10 out of 10 on the creativity. Whoever made this sign, that young lady back there, right there, that young black lady right there, holding it up. Hey, shout out the 10 out of 10 on creativity. I love this sign. I think it is amazing, and I am all for it. But now, guys, it's time for your favorite segment. It is time for Panther Nation to speak your truth. And that's where I read y'all comments from the last video and see what y'all had to say, man. And the first comment comes from Whitfielder 8614. My man says, we need to play 22 a little more. He thumper. Hey. I've been telling y'all I like Lathan Ransom a lot. That's why I want him playing over Nick Scott. I really do. I just wish they would, but they won't. Not this late in the season, unless something happens to Nick Scott. Next comes from Glowman_B. My man says, To think that was my first NFL game and we pulled off a win against arguably the best overall team in the NFL as of right now, it was legendary. And it wasn't even packed out for real. But when I say near the end of the fourth quarter, the bank was loud, hashtag keep pounding. Hey, man, I'm so happy that was your first NFL game and that's what you got to witness. Hey, I'm so happy for you because my first NFL game, my first Panthers game was the 2016 Thursday night matchup versus the Saints. That was a phenomenal matchup. I remember that, and it was in November. Funny enough, it was a November matchup versus the Saints. And the Sugar Hill gang was actually the halftime performers. So that was actually a blast. And we won that game too. So I'm happy you got to see that and experience that thriller in person and really get to be there. That's a great experience, man. And then number 3 comes from Aiden Thickpen 1117. My man says, this is a huge win. Glad we were able to get this one in before the bye week. This one shows our team that we can go out and play a great game of football. I hope we rest up and get to see some familiar faces as we head into New Orleans. But if I have to give any criticism, there are 2 things. Canals needs to trust Bryce in the play calling. I want Bryce to sling that rock more often because, as we've seen, he can do it. And we need to play to our opponent's level and higher. There have been multiple games where we played great teams and we played to their level and ultimately better to pull out the win. But when it comes to playing a team like the Saints, we just let them run the show. I hope we don't underestimate the Saints again when we head over to their trap. But in the words of Ocho Cinco, keep pounding, bitch. Hey, man. You ain't lied. Honestly, I like the balance that Carolina had. I like that Canales trusted Bryce in certain situations. And I think as they get better and more consistent, he will trust him to throw the rock even more and more. But the balance we achieved this past week was phenomenal. And yeah, definitely on the playing to levels because we have played down to opponents' levels, but then we want to play up for the great opponents. And that's part of the inconsistency that we've been doing all year that we can't do. We can't keep doing that. We got to play we always got to play high level. We got to treat every team like it's the number 1 team in the league. We got to treat every team like it's the Atlanta Falcons. We can't just dip down when we're like, oh, it's the Saints. You know what I mean? But yeah, I could definitely agree with that. But with all that being said, guys, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified of when these videos are dropping. Next, comment below and let me know. 1, what were your thoughts about seeing Chris Sims eat crow and have to eat his words about the Panthers this week? 2, do you think the Carolina Panthers should bring Adam Thielen back? And 3, how you feeling seeing Jaycee Horn voted as the number 1 corner for the Pro Bowl heading into the closing parts of the season? Let me know all that in the comment section below because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see y'all next time.